Hello everyone, VanguardOfValor here, and welcome back. It has been quite a while since I've been able to make any videos. I came down with a terrible plague recently and was unable to really speak without my voice being a terrible mess and without horrible sniffles. I still have a little bit of that, so I've got some water here. Hopefully that'll keep the coughing on the lesser side of what it has been recently. And hopefully this should all go well. So what we're doing today, we're back again in FTL, like you couldn't tell. We are here to do a run with the mod I created myself, the Arwing 1. Or rather, Arwing 1, that's what I thought. I worried there for a second. Anyway, with the Arwing 1, which is of course a ship from Star Fox, which I modded into this game in the awesome subscriber special I posted not too long ago. So I'll have a link for that in the description if you're interested in seeing how this ship was actually made, the specific parts of it, and all that various whatnot you can find in that video. This video, however, we are going to try and play through the game with it. So, before we get started, I am going to acknowledge that this ship is hard. It definitely is not a ship that gives in easily. You have a very difficult early game, and if you can get past that, it's a fairly reasonable ship. But otherwise, you can have a heck of a time with it, for two reasons. First of all, you have very little defensive power, and second of all, you have very little offensive power. To a point. You definitely have an easy potential to get more defensive power very quickly if you get the right couple things in the early game. So that's definitely what we're going to try and go for, and I'll talk about that more as it happens. And you have the potential for really high firepower with this smart bomb. Having a 5 damage shot for 2 power is pretty darn good. The 15-second charge time is not amazing, but 5 damage for 2 power is pretty huge. The problem with it is that since it only does hull damage, it's not a reliable way of disabling things. So really what you need is some better lasers, because these are just basic lasers with some different sounds, to complement your smart bomb, and then you can wreak havoc. Because if you get the right weapon upgrades, you can absolutely the right weapon replacements, you can wreak absolute havoc. Now, I did design this ship to have a bunch of limitations. For example, the starting weapons, the starting defenses, but you also can't have drones, and there's only 3 weapon slots. So it is designed to be very limiting in the way you can actually attack your enemies. It's not necessarily going to doom you, but it can be very problematic if you miss early shots, or if things don't go well with the early enemies you get, so it is a ship where you might have to restart a couple times before you can actually get a run that's going to go through. But we're going to do our best we can here and see what happens. Whew. So we have Fox here and Rob, of course. If we're going to go with our classic people, he should be an animal of some kind, but you know what? We'll stick with human because whatever. Originally, I wasn't going to give you even another Engie. It was going to be just Fox, and then I decided that was a little bit too cruel, so I added in Rob as well, because you'd get hit by one thing and it'd be game over, because you'd have too hard of a time repairing things quickly enough. You do have a few rooms here you can take hits on without it being the end of the world, but if somebody hits you in your shields or your weapons or your helm early on in the main body of the ship, it can be pretty nasty. Either way, we're going to be playing this game on normal. We're going to jump in here and see what happens. So, here we go. Alright, the data we carry here is vital to the Federation fleet. With supplies for the journeys, we'll have to gather resources, and of course we'll have to escape before rebels catch us. That shouldn't be too bad. Rob, you're taking over weapons control. I know you're normally on Great Fox, but today you're on the Arwing, so that'll be fun. Oh boy. So, what do we got going on here? Well, the reason we have Rob here in the weapons is that if we fight an enemy with a mini-beam, often these 2 laser cannons can hit them and disable the weapon before they can actually get a chance to shoot it, which is a pretty solid damage reduction, whereas if we're in the engines we only have a chance to take less damage, which is still a pretty big deal, but it's hard to say early on, especially because it is a 33% evasion boost. It's pretty significant, but we're going to hope we get lucky here in the first couple jumps and find some lovely free goodies. We'll have to wait and see though. Alright, upon arrival here we find a Federation transport under attack by the rebels. We have to get in there and help them, of course. They have a Lido missile and some kind of laser, which could be bad for us. Oh, it's a burst laser as well. This is bad for us. We're going to try and get that first shot off, and then we're probably going to have Rob run away. Don't think he can get down to the engines before the rocket fires, though. He's going to fire it up at the same time as we do. And can you get down to the engines to try and dodge that rocket? No, you can't, but it missed us anyway. Awesome. Alright, you're going to hang out down here now, Rob, because it doesn't help us to have that higher evasion rate when we have this Lido missile coming in, or rather, it will help us to have the higher evasion rate when we have these Lidos coming in. It won't help us if we just have more firepower. So this might give us a chance to continue avoiding it. This is really lucky so far. Both Lidos have missed us, and that room is now on fire, which is amazing. So we're actually going to retarget their helm and prevent them from dodging, so that when we go in for the killing blow, we will be able to hopefully take them out without them being able to dodge it. Of course, we did just miss both of our lasers. Ah well, can't win them all, I guess. They have no med bay, so it looks like they may have abandoned this room altogether, which is great, because we did see a whole bunch of other doors open. We've just missed again twice, which is pretty exceptionally bad luck. Hopefully other rooms have started burning, like their engines. That would be pretty nice. If we can hit them, though, that would be good. There we go. Now they can't dodge us. They have 6 bars of health left, so one more shot will take them out. We don't necessarily need to smart bomb them, but it will be a good idea to prevent them from running. We're going to take one more shot here, take out the shields as well, just to give them something else to think about repairing. And now we turn on the smart bomb, and we're going to aim it at a random empty room. Now, when the enemy only has 5 hull left, it really doesn't matter where you aim with your smart bomb, or if they have no system damage, it really doesn't matter where you aim with your smart bomb. But if the enemy ship is not going to die from your bomb attack and they have system damage, make sure you don't aim it at a system that has health. I haven't tested this, but I'm pretty sure that if you attack a system that does have health and you don't kill the ship, the -5 system damage that I added to make sure it only does hull damage will actually heal the system back up again. So try not to do that. With the ship destroyed, we gather a missile, drone part, and 17 scrap, and contacting the Federation, they tell us that the ship is transporting Federation civilians on the run from the rebels, and they have nothing to give us, but they tell us of a hidden Federation base nearby that might be able to help us more. That would be great, especially because it's right beside us. So we're going to go over there and see if they'll give us any awesome stuff. What do we get here? Well, after a quick search, we discover the hidden Federation space dock, and they give us 2 fuel, a drone part, and another 15 scrap. Not amazing, but definitely not bad for free stuff. Now we're going to go here and then to the store. Finding a store this early is awesome because that is a big boost to our ability to do what we want to do with this ship. There's nothing here though. We jump to an unremarkable system with no life signs, so we decide to move onwards to the store. Alright. Now there's a reason for this. I'll explain it in a second here. So we find the store. They have weapons. Ooh, I might want to buy one of these, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Burst Laser Mark 1 is a bad weapon overall, but it's pretty good for what it does, because if we buy one more power bar, we have 3 lasers instead of 1. We really do need that laser upgrade early on, but the thing is, even more importantly, we need our shields to be upgraded. It's hard to say what the best choice is, but this is what the big deal is here. We have an FTL recharge booster. This thing I added to the ship mostly because of its lore significance, right? Because, you know, as in Star Fox, you can use the boost to get through, and all that kind of stuff. But the big advantage of it is you can sell it. It's not actually a very good augment, but you can sell it for 25 scrap. And in the early game, 25 scrap is a big deal. That's up to 2 fights worth of free money. So that's pretty significant. What we're going to do with that money is still in question, though, because we could buy the burst laser, but we won't be able to use it right away. If we take a look at our ship here, how much will it cost? It'll cost us at least another 45 scrap before we're able to actually use the weapon, which is a little bit much. But it is a good weapon. On the other hand, we can boost our shields, which I'm going to do, I think, because having those shields in the early game is a huge boon. Plus, if we can find an enemy who only does 2 lasers worth of damage, we can actually turn off our engines completely to power them, and that way we don't risk taking any damage from that enemy, and that's pretty awesome. Especially on a ship that can be as fragile as this is sometimes. We are going to continue to look around, though, and see if we can't find an alternative way to get weapons, or if we find a shop later on that offers them, we'll probably buy one at that point, but as it stands, we want to be a little bit careful about that. Basic laser, not a problem. Artemis missile, yes, a problem. Alright, so we find these guys here. We're actually going to send our NG down to the engines now, because we do not want to get hit by the Artemis missile. We should be able to take it out if we manage to hit them in the weapons with both lasers, because I believe this is in the furthest to the right weapon slot, so it should get knocked out first. But it did manage to take a shot off before we managed to knock it out, and it luckily missed us. That is awesome. Alright, one more shot should continue their inability to hit us. That'll lock them down to 5 hull as well, which will be good. And then we can... Oh, they have an NG on board, so this could be a risky maneuver. But we're going to try and smart bomb them now while they have the weapons out. They will be able to repair it before we get to shoot again, because like we saw last time, they repaired it about a little bit less than 10 seconds, like that. We have a 15-second timer on the smart bomb, which should prevent them from firing this Artemis again, but potentially if we miss, we could be in trouble here. So please hit. And it's a hit. Unfortunately, they did manage to fire. Please don't hit us. They hit us. Thankfully, they only hit us in the radar, which is not a big deal in here. Ship explodes, giving us 2 missiles, a drone part, and 12 scrap, which we were immediately going to spend on a power bar, which we can then stick in this way. So we still have a power bar in the engines, and we have a fully activated level 2 shield. Evidently against missiles, this isn't the best setup, but for most other weapons, most lasers and ion weapons and whatnot, this is definitely the way to go. Having that additional shield layer is a huge benefit. So, where are we going to go next? Well, let's go further into the nebula, I guess. It's probably the best plan here. We want to get our engines leveled up pretty quick, but let's see. We find a shieldless drone here that can't hurt us because they have an ion weapon and a heavy laser. Alright, well, let's fight them. They're trying to run away, though, which is going to make it a little bit trickier, but really it's not a big deal because they're never going to be able to hurt us as long as we can lock down their helm and their engines, and since they don't have a shield, this makes it really easy. It should be pretty easy for us to take these guys out. 6 hull, no shields, mediocre weaponry, not a big deal. Unfortunately, we did miss the first shot here. I really want to hit their helm because that'll stop them their ability to charge. Knocking out the engines a little bit is nice because it does make it harder for them to get away, but it doesn't knock them out quite as quickly as I'd like. Please hit the helm. There we go. Now they're both knocked out. They're not going anywhere. We can hit the weapons just to give ourselves a thing to do here. And then they're going to die next salvo. Because they can't dodge, we only need to do 3 damage, so that's fine. No reason in wasting a smart bomb on this enemy because they literally can't get away from us. Alright, here we go. I'm actually going to lower the game volume in a minute. Let's just quickly do that here. Lower that. There we go. Volume nice and lowered. Ship breaks apart and we get 1 fuel drone part and 7 scrap from the fight. Not a really great reward, but I guess it's better than nothing. So, how are we going to get over here, though? That's the question. We should really be on the other side of the map, I think. I don't know if we can actually make that jump. That would be a bit problematic. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. That might be pushing it a little bit, but we will have to go and see. Our next jump here asks a merchant ship asking for a mercenary to aid them. We agree to respond, and he tells us we need to deliver drone parts to a small station a few jumps away. We agree, and he adds a quest marker to our map, as well as 5 drone parts. Now, theoretically, we could try and steal the drone parts, but it literally does nothing for us to steal them because we can't have a drone system anyway. We could potentially sell them, but even that's not great. And here we jump into a plasma storm, where multiple recently incapacitated ships loom in the shadows, illuminated by the lightning. We can search the wreckage for survivors and equipment, or we can jump away without doing anything. We're going to search this wreckage for survivors and equipment. We might take some hull damage, but we should find some nice things. Unfortunately, despite our caution, the lack of detection equipment allows debris to crash into our ship, damaging the hull. We salvage what we can and jump away, getting 8 missiles, a drone part, and 8 scrap. That 8 missiles is huge for later on, because it will give us a pretty solid potential to blast away at people if we need to. So we have a quest beacon right here we can jump to. We're probably going to go here first. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, and that way we'll find out if we're doomed or not, but let's jump over here and find out what happens. So, is there anything interesting happening at this beacon? We found an advanced rebel automated ship stationed here. They have a Lido missile, heavy lasers. The Lido missile is the big concern here. They have a shield, no drones, no cloak, 1 layer shield. That should be fine. And they have a storage cache for military goods, which might have some lovely things in it. So let's attack them. Oh, they do have a bomb as well. That could be bad. We're going to power up systems again. No, we don't want to be underpowered. Thank you very much. We're actually going to turn off the oxygen for the time being to give us additional dodge. Yeah, I think we'll do that anyway, just in case. Not that it really matters. And we're going to try and laser these guys in the weapons as quickly as possible to start knocking out these explosives. The bomb should be fine. It'll be the first weapon to go down, then the Lido missiles. But if we can hit them in the weapons immediately, they might not be able to ever fire that bomb. Oh, I thought that was going to hit us in the weapons there. I was worried. Small bomb hits us in the helm. That's a problem. Alright, small bomb goes off, knocking out our evasion. Let's get in there quickly and repair that. We need to hit them in this weapon system. Otherwise, oh, there goes our engines down again. Rob, get back in there and fix that, please. Please hit them. We've missed so many times in this fight. It's not cool. We're going to continue missing, I'm sure, but so are they, apparently. The missile, please miss us. Nope, there goes our radar. That's fine, though. That's fine. Alright, fire, please hit. I want you to knock out their bombs. Oh my goodness, your aim is terrible. Alright, here comes another missile, gonna hit us somewhere. Yep, in the med bay. Another one hits us in the med bay too, but it doesn't do any damage, so that's fine. We are low on oxygen, which is not great. We may just turn off the extra shield layer, but the reason I have the extra shield layer on is just in case they happen to missile us in the shields. They didn't, but they could have. Unfortunately, now our oxygen's broken, so it looks like that's going to be a different concern instead. Alright, we're in bad luck here with our shots, but it does happen from time to time. We're going to get back in here, we're going to open all the internal doors to hopefully reduce the oxygen. No, that's not going to help. And we've missed again. We have a hole in our med bay. Come on, guys, your aim is terrible. This is exceptionally poor aim. Alright, hit them in there. Please hit them this time. And we just shot their missile out of the sky, which is pretty exceptional, but not helpful. Alright, so we fixed the oxygen problem, but there is an oxygen problem in our med bay as well because of the fact that there's no actual air in it and there's a hole in it. So I can't go fix the med bay, which is unfortunate. Please hit them in the weapons. You need to stop missing, otherwise I'm going to fire you. Thankfully they're out of missiles. Alright, we tanked every single missile they could throw at us. Congratulations. What a waste. Alright, our oxygen is back online, so we will gradually get air back. Ugh, that was a terrible fight. Sometimes that does happen, though. If you get unlucky with your hit chances, you can just get completely trashed. Alright, we're gonna hit these guys with a smart bomb, hopefully knocking them out. I might just go get Fox here to go fix that breach if he can, because then the oxygen will come back and we can fix it no problem. But if there's a breach in there, it's going to give us a hard time. He might not be able to fix the whole thing, though, in which case we might be done. Come on, fix it. Nope. We investigate what we can from the broken station, getting 14 scrap, and we find 3 fuel, drone part, another 8 scrap. Not bad resources, but unfortunately, our team is not looking too healthy. Can we equalize the oxygen in that room? Does not look like it. This could be potentially game over. We can upgrade our oxygen, which is a huge waste of resources at this stage in the game, but it could potentially save us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait here until our oxygen fills up, and then we'll see if we can equalize the oxygen in this room, and if not, we're going to have to try some other more tricky tricks. So I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, so it looks like we balanced out at about 89 oxygen. If we open our doors, is it enough to get oxygen in there, or are we just going to drain it out super fast? We are just draining our oxygen, so that's not going to work. We might be able to get it with Rob. He has 14 health left, which is not huge, but it might be enough to fix the breach. He left with 1 health left. Not good enough. Alright, we could theoretically leave this like that, but it's not a good idea. How did I get over here? Oh, I thought I could make that jump. Right. Right. I can jump back here, no problem, and that'll be safe. But this is not a good situation, because now I need to upgrade my oxygen, otherwise we're going to lose. So we upgrade the oxygen, power up the oxygen bay, and that should give us the oxygen production potential to oxygenate that room. There we go. Let's get our crew in there, fix it up, and get the med bay working. That was a bad situation. It's too bad that I had to waste my 25 scrap upgrading the oxygen like that, but better that than dying. We're going to buy another power bar here to make sure we can run our systems as intended. We will, of course, have to leave the oxygen 1 step empty now, but that's fine. So, heal up our crew and get them back into the action. We can close all the internal doors now because I don't need to equalize the oxygen. Rob, you're going to head over to weapons, I guess. Fox over to the helm. There we go. Power down the med bay, power back in the shields. So, that last fight went really badly. Hopefully we can do better than that in the future. Let's keep jumping and see what we see. So, can we make this last jump? That is the question of the day. Let us jump over here and we'll find out. Actually, we'll go over here first because there's no reason we wouldn't be able to make that jump. What do we find in this nebula? It's an ion storm again. Fantastic. What do we see in here? Nothing. We find a rebel. Lovely. Okay, well, we found a rebel here trying to find us. They only have a... That's not good. They have a burst laser online. If we could potentially hit them before they can hit us, I think. It's going to be really close, though. The burst laser has like an 11-second charge on. These have like a 9 now with a crew on the system. So that'll let fire. We're going to run Rob back to the engines to try and stop them from hitting us. Ooh, that was close. The one thing I'm worried about is that if we do manage to knock out their weapons, they might get extra power to put into their shields. It's not likely, but it is a potential issue. Thankfully, we did knock that out again, so they're down to a bomb, which just seems strange. Most bombs I thought required 2 energy. Maybe it's a small bomb that only takes 1? I'm not sure. Either way, we'll laser them again, which should take them back down to the bomb. We should be able to more or less lock them down here, and then we can try and take them out with the smart bomb if we get to that stage. Thing is, if we do miss with the smart bomb, we'll be in trouble. Looks like their engines are quite low, though, probably because of the same issue we've got, where they have literally no power. That's fine, though. For the time being, I might even depower the engines. I should really just send Rob back to the helm now, because he's not doing much in the engines at the moment. We turn off the engines completely to turn the oxygen back on so we don't suffocate, and on goes the smart bomb. We're going to smart bomb them in the helm for just fun. There's no reason not to. And hopefully this goes well. Hopefully they fix that before they fire the bomb at me, because I really don't want to get a bomb hit. It looks like they may have stopped preparing, though. No, they are. Good. So they're going to waste their own ability to hit us here, which means we get a shot at the smart bomb for free. Please hit. Please hit. Please hit. Awesome. Dead rebel fighter. That's what we wanted. Whew. Ship explodes, giving us 2 missiles to jump part another 16 scrap, which is pretty nice. Of course, we have no power in our engines anymore, so let's stick some power in there and jump out of here, jump to the quest beacon, and hopefully get a lovely stash of free goods. Hopefully lots of money, that's what I really want. We arrived at a location given to us by the merchant, and we're supposed to deliver drone parts to a station here. We find the small research station and discover that it's putting out a distress signal, and there's no response to our hails. Well, let's dock with the station and investigate. Well, we dock with the station and see a frantic person banging on the airlock door. Once inside, he drops to the floor saying, "My friends, they've gone insane! They're coming!" We hand him a blaster and turn to see a number of people charging towards our ship. Oh my goodness, yes we do. Alright, we got Banks and new NG on our team, which is not a bad thing, but not great either. We might take a whole pile of damage here. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to try and force them out of the parts of the ship we don't want them fighting in, like our weapons, by deoxygenating them. They'll be able to move wherever they want, really, but we'll be able to, hopefully, stop them from destroying too much stuff by pushing them towards the med bay. We can turn our oxygen system on as well, which should prevent us from suffocating in the rooms we don't want to suffocate in. Like, I can basically push them out of everywhere, I think, and they just won't be able to stay in these rooms. Problem is, that I have 3 people, it's going to be hard for us to force people to stay in the med bay. Yeah, because I have too many crew to have everyone stay in the med bay. Alright, well, you know what we're going to do then? We're going to swap you so you can get into the med bay and heal, while these people are forced in to fight us again, because they'll keep suffocating otherwise. Our medbay isn't turned on, because I'm a genius. Alright, get that medbay working. Alright, we've lost radar, which is not great. We have 2 people fighting in here, which is fine. We're going to close all internal doors and turn the oxygen back on, because that should let us get Rob up to some other part of the ship where he should be fine, because there's plenty of oxygen now. These guys will keep fighting in here. We'll lose the helm eventually, but that's not a big concern. I can distract them a little bit here with Rob, but I think I'm just going to run him out. This is good, though, for us in the long run, because while we do take a bunch of damage here, we also make sure that we actually get these kills. We get an extra crew member. Having an extra crew means we can run engines and weapons, and that is great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave him here. We're going to run down to the engines and fight them there with Fox temporarily, just to distract them a little bit, because every time they do destroy a system completely, it does do system damage, so that's no fun. We're going to send Banks down to help, not that he's going to do too much, just to slow them down a little bit more, because that way we can swap them out and they'll do less damage overall to us. Come on, Fox, take out your enemy. Alright, I'm going to have to bail with him. That's unfortunate, but Banks, or rather Rob, took out his target, which is good. We're going to send Rob down to help out Banks here. They should be able to take these 2 humans out together. There we go. Awesome. We killed off all the humans. We only lost 2 systems fully. That could have been much worse. Plus, we now have 2 NG, which is good for repairing. Very good for repairing, in fact. So that's pretty good, actually. That could have been much worse. I was hoping we'd get a bunch of scrap from them, because that is definitely one of the potential outcomes. They try to pay you less than they should for their drone parts, and you can tell them that, fine, you'll just keep them. And almost always, they seem to give you a ton of resources if you do that in exchange, because of you're basically threatening to take away the things they need. Which is not the nicest thing to do, but it gets you what you need. So, we are going to keep moving here. Rob, what are you best at? You're best at both. I don't know. I'll send you down to the weapons then. And Banks, you're going to take over the engines. Not that it really matters who does what, but we'll stick them somewhere. So, power out of the medbay into the engines. Whoo boy! Let us jump to the exit, and thankfully we can. So this is probably going to give us the opportunity to make 2 jumps and then get back. So we'll go 1, 2, and then 3, but possibly not, because that is pushing things a little bit too far. What do we find here? At the long-range beacon, we discover a small station fitted with hundreds of repair drones, which offers to repair us for relatively cheap. And we will agree, we'll take a 5 damage repair for 10 scrap, because that is the lowest potential healing rate, and we are a little bit low on hull. So that's good. It's not necessarily the best option, because if we could hold out a little bit longer, we might be able to save up and get better engines, and then get better weapons, and then not die at all, but it's better than nothing. Now if we jump again, we won't have time to get back to the exit, and we really, really, really do not want to fight any rebels at the exit, because a rebel elite will destroy us, especially because we don't have our FTL booster anymore. So we're going to jump to the next sector, which gives us 2 choices of an NG-controlled sector or a pirate-controlled sector. The NG-controlled sector is potentially good because we do have NG on board, so we can get some nice rewards that way. The rebel-controlled sector, on the other hand, or the pirate-controlled sector, will give us a lot more things to fight. It's hard to say what the better choice is at the moment, but we're looking for money, and the best way to get money is to fight things. So it's probably a better choice to go to the pirate-controlled sector. The NG-controlled sector is also going to have more drone systems, most likely, which isn't too much of a big concern for us, because we have no rocket weapons anyway. But that will mean they repair things quicker, so I think we'll go for the pirate-controlled sector and test our luck here. Alright, we find a few Federation-friendly planets in the sector, which are constantly under attack, and that is fine by me. However, I need to go get another glass of water, because I need to keep my voice lubricated, otherwise I'm going to be in serious pain later on. So, I'll be right back. Much better. Alright, smart bomb off, laser cannons on, that should do. Let us go. We have a lot of space to cover here, and there's a store right next to us, which does give us the potential to have a nice run here, if we can get enough money to get a weapon there. So we'll probably go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll like work our way over here somehow or something like that. That would be a good way of doing things, I think. Get ourselves a little bit of scrap before we go to the store so we can potentially buy something if there is something to buy. What do we see here? We find a large asteroid field nearby, and we are going to explore it to see if we can find any goodies. And we do! While searching, we find the remains of a ship embedded into an asteroid which still has 2 functional missiles and 24 scrap on board we can steal. Let's take it. Distress beacon is next, so let's go check that out. Nice find, as always. Hopefully there's some blue options. No, we don't. We find the source of the distress call, however, which happens to be a small research station, which is currently on fire. We're going to try and save the survivors rather than try to put out the fire, because going in there manually is generally dangerous, and we'll see if we can get a bit of scrap in the process. While we find the highest concentration of life forms and try and bring the ship alongside to save them, unfortunately that's when the station decides to explode, damaging our ship and giving us 12 scrap. Well, not great, but we'll take it. It's a bit more money for our potential weapon fund. Let's jump over here and see if we can get anything good there. We find an especially well-armed pirate ship approaching us here, and they ask us to hand over our crew if the rest of us want to go free unharmed. Well, that doesn't sound great to me, but we're never going to surrender our crew to the slavers, so let's fight them and see what happens. Please teleport into a room that's not important, like the medbay would be great. Nope, shields is not great. Alright, we are going to vent out the oxygen. We're going to send Rob in here to temporarily fight them. They do have Lido missiles, which we really want to lock down, but I can't afford to keep our crew in there, as we really can't afford to lose our shields at the moment. So now that we have the oxygen pretty much burned out, that will work. We can get them out of here. Our oxygen system is now broken, which is really not good. But that's fine. We'll close our external doors. We're going to temporarily turn off the oxygen to turn on the medbay. We're going to send Banks in here to support Fox, otherwise he's going to get beat up. Their Lido missiles are broken, though, which is good. That does kind of minimize the amount of damage they can potentially do to us. And if we can keep it locked down, we will be just fine. We're going to send Banks over here to help fix the oxygen temporarily. We're going to send... Oh, no, that's Rob. We're going to send Banks back to the medbay and Rob back into the fight. They've actually run off, which is really good. Alright, we're going to come in here and try and fight some more, get our oxygen back up, and try and knock out their weapons before they manage to hit us again. Perfect. They are getting low on hull. If we can get them down to 5, we can one-shot them with the smart bomb, which is probably going to be our goal. Powering off the medbay to power our oxygen again. We're going to equalize the oxygen internally by opening the doors. That should work a little bit slowly because we have a little bit of damage, but that's fine. And we'll send our crew back to their various stations. Knock out that missile launcher, please. Good. One more shot, and we should have them down to 5, so we'll be able to take them out with the smart bomb, which is, of course, what we want to see. And go with the lasers. There we go. Alright, now we're going to turn on the smart bomb. If we get lucky here and the first shot hits, it should take them out before they have a chance to fire the Lido. If we miss, they will probably get a chance to fire the Lido. They might even get a chance to fire it at the exact same moment we fire. I'm not exactly sure the timer on that thing. Please hit. They did get a chance to shoot, and we killed them. They are going to hit us in the shields, but that's fine because they're dead. So we're going to get in here and put out that fire and deal with the associated damage. But we did gather 3 fuel, a drone part, and 26 scrap from their wreckage, which is pretty sweet. Alright. Repair our shield damage. There we go. We'll send our crew back in to heal up as well, which is probably a good idea. Get them back up to a more respectable level of health. If we don't find a weapon in this store, we're probably going to spend this money because it'll be a while before we find another one. And we'll probably go for something like a engine upgrade to make ourselves a little bit harder to hit all the time. But we will have to wait and see what we see at the store before we make any decisions about that. So that looks pretty good. Turn back to lasers and power back in the engines, because that's where we want it. And let's check out this store. There's a distress beacon right there, which is potentially useful, but let's see what we see. We find an automated shipyard, which is a ton of turrets, 152 automated turrets to defend itself. And no, they have weapons, but not exactly what we wanted. They do, however, have an automated reloader or a scrap recovery arm. We're going to take the scrap recovery arm, I think, because it doesn't take too long to get that benefit back. It definitely is a great long-term solution. So we'll pick up one of those. It does, however, prevent us from being able to upgrade our systems like I intended, but we'll use the 15 scrap we have, because it's a very cheap upgrade for level 3 engines, and grab that right away. If we need to turn off our oxygen to get a bit of extra dodge, we can do that pretty easily. Let's jump over this way and see what else we can see. Hopefully we get some nice things here. We find a pirate who mentions that we have a shiny ship. However, after a warning shot across their bow, they decide it wasn't worth fighting over. Let's check out this distress beacon and see if there's anything good here. I'm hoping for goodies. We found a small space station orbiting an uninhabited planet with a haywire satellite defense system problem. Luckily for them, we have the NG crew we need to remotely repair their targeting system with no risk. So we do that, fixing the glitch in their defense AI and allowing them to finish the job, and in thanks, they gave us a fuel, 2 missiles, and 30 scrap, which is great. Great, great, great indeed. Let's check out this beacon here and see if we can't get something towards getting out of here. Probably shouldn't be going in the opposite direction of the exit, but we're going to do it anyway, because hey, why not? We arrive here in an asteroid belt to find a rebel automated scout. Okay. They're in an asteroid field. They have a dual laser and a heavy laser, which could be a problem, but we're going to try and hit them pretty hard, and hopefully they won't be able to hit us back. If we manage to hit them when the shields are down, we'll knock out both of their weapons, I think, because those should both go down in one salvo here. There we go. Yep, perfect timing there. As the shields go down from the asteroid, we managed to hit both their weapons, so they're not going to be able to hit us again, which is nice. We're going to send Banks over to the radar to fix that up, just so we can see, because I like being able to see on board my own ship. And then we will get to business to killing these guys. Their shields are now down from our lasers, so they won't be able to defend themselves against the asteroids. Their shields are burned out as well, which is not good for them. Their engines are broken, and they're going to die very soon. Probably before we get a chance to shoot them again, in fact. Awesome, there they go. Alright, power out of the engines back into the oxygen. And that's a dead ship. Two missiles, drone part, 23 scrap. Good to see. 62 scrap on board is nice. We can't buy any upgrades here. We're going to try and actually jump over this way. Then we're going to jump across to the right if we can. Here we find a well-known slave trader. He offers us laborers for cheap if we agree to buy one. We can attack him instead, or we can ignore him and continue on our way. He does have a teleporter, he does have a burst laser Mark II, and a basic laser, so it might not be a good plan to fight him, but we're going to fight him anyway because we're insane. Attack the slaver scum. Please attack us in a space that I can actually easily defend. Teleport to our medbay, that'll be great. Nope, shields, okay. Banks, you're no longer in the engines, you're going to be on Mantis duty. In fact, Rob, you're also on Mantis duty. And we're going to try and laser cannon these guys into weapons, hopefully giving them a bit of a hard time here. There we go, lasers go off, and we missed. Awesome. Not good at all. We're going to take some hits here, most likely, in the engines. Perfect. Okay, power back into the oxygen, I guess. And keep fighting there, guys. We'll get them eventually. We do have the potential to beat this Mantis here, but it could be a little bit problematic. Hang on, that's not right. Are you really moving into the same spot? Yeah, you are. That's weird. Okay, apparently oh yeah, the left is where the station is. That's why it's the prime station. Alright, hit them again. Please turn off one of their lasers. There we go, mini lasers off. Now, they might not have any NG on board, which would give us the potential... Oh, the helm got hit. Ouch. Which would give us the potential to knock out their weapons before they manage to repair them, which would be nice. But I'm not sure about that. They may as well have NG, which would make it a lot harder. But no, they don't. Okay, now they're not going to be able to hurt us again. I like that. We're going to get our crew fixing up our various stations, and then we're going to get our medbay back online, or rather get our crew in the medbay to heal themselves back up. That's what we want. Okay. Healing and hitting. That's what we want. We want to make sure they never get to fire again with that thing. Actually, hang on. What we really want to do right now is swap to the smart bomb, do we? No. We're going to fire another salvo with the laser cannon. If we can get both weapons knocked out at the same time, that would be really good. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though, and it's risky. They're trying to offer us a slave now as tribute. That could be really good, actually. It would give us a bit of extra power against borders, and it could allow us to activate all 4 stations. Let's accept their slave offer and hope we get a Rockman or a Mantis, someone who can actually deal with borders a little bit better. If we accept the offer, we get Gumpo. Congratulations, Gumpo. You're not half as good as anything I wanted. Rob, back to weapons. Banks, down to engines. Gumpo, take over shields. At least he's better than an NG or a Zoltan, though, so it's not as bad as it could potentially have been. Powering up the engines there, we're going to spend a bit more of our money to get ourselves extra power, so we can run that 3rd engine bar all the time without having to turn off our oxygen. And let's keep moving. Thankfully, we can make the jump I was hoping we'd be able to make, so let's jump over here and see what we see. Is there anything of interest here? We find a mercenary ship here, which is offering to help us out a little. They say they can't afford the upkeep of the hunk of junk they're flying, but we can either hire them to delay the rebels, which could be interesting, given that it only costs 12 scrap, or we can fight them, and given their weaponry, probably the best choice. Let's fight them. They should go down pretty easy. They don't have too much going for them here. We're going to try and smack them in the weapons and turn off. Probably the heavy laser is the one that's going to go off, but either way, we want them to not be able to hit us, which shouldn't be too hard. Our scrap recovery arm is giving us extra loot, and I had been forgetting about that too, which is a silly thing to do. You get hit in the shields there. Hopefully we'll be able to get that back up before we get hit again. That would not be good, so we're going to probably, as soon as that fires, there, We're going to send Rob down to help repair it, and we missed, unfortunately, which isn't great either. Please get those shields up. No, getting hit the engines again. That was bad luck on our part, bad timing with that repair. Oh well, not the end of the world. Back on our systems, we should be able to knock out their weapons with this shot. Please hit the weapons. No, you missed again. Thankfully, they can't hurt us anymore, because this heavy laser is still down, but if you don't hit them again, it's going to be back up again. It looks like they must have Mantis or something in there, because their repair speed is really bad. But that's fine. Alright. We also have very low fuel. We should probably try and get some of that soon, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be overrun by the rebels, and this ship is not good at dealing with rebel elites. And we've missed again. Your guys' aim is terrible. My goodness, we really need to get better lasers, otherwise we are going to lose here. The scrap recovery arm is nice, but it doesn't balance out the fact we don't have a weapon. Alright, we should go for the smart bomb kill here, because that will prevent them from running away, which is never good, because we literally can't do a darn thing about it, and if we miss one of our smart bombs when they're running, they're basically guaranteed to get away, whereas if we can hit them here, they don't have the opportunity, and we can try again. So, smart bomb them, and hit please. That's what I want to see, and that's dead Federation Scouts. Awesome. Ooh! Yes! This is perfect. Ship explodes, giving us 2 fuel, 2 missiles, 23 scrap, and a heavy laser Mark II. Problem is, that thing takes 3 power. So it's free, which is amazing, but it's going to be a while before we can actually use it, because it's very demanding. We could technically upgrade it fully now, but we might not be able to actually run it, because we can upgrade to 4 power bars, then we could use the laser cannon and a heavy laser. The timing would be a bit off as well, because it's 13 seconds as opposed to 10, but that's pretty darn good. It only does 2 shots. Not quite as good, but does a lot more damage. If we put that in there, we power this up, we can theoretically run them both, but we need to steal 2 power from, like, there to be able to run them. It's possible, and it could be good. We'll have to wait and see. If we can get something else to support it on the other side, we will be absolutely laughing. The problem is we just don't have any more engine power right now, which is potentially really bad. But we'll have to wait and see. So we have how many jumps to the exit here? We have probably 1, 2, 3-ish? So let's go 1, 2, 3 and see what we see on the way out. Is there anything nice? That's what I'm looking for. There is nothing here. Despite the barren area, a trader has set up shop at the beacon and offers us 3 drone parts for 3 missiles, which is not going to happen, I'm afraid. Alright, we're very low on fuel as well, which is not good. Let's jump over here and then to the exit and see what happens. Hopefully something nice. It's an asteroid belt, not something nice. Alright, it's a Zoltan though, which is going to get blasted by the asteroid field, and they move in to attack us. That's okay. They have a beam drone, which is fine. Lido missiles and an ion, which should all be fine, as long as we don't get unlucky with asteroid timing. Oh, that's good. Actually, no, this is going to be bad. I don't know why I said it was good. This is going to be bad. We are going to get hit really hard here. As soon as the asteroids start hitting us when we are already ion, stuff is going to get nasty. And we just got rocketed in the engines as well, which isn't great. Thankfully, their shields just went down, which means we can pummel them. So we're going to do just that. Heavy laser, go! There we go. No weapons for you. 1 more shot will kill them. That is very nice. Our oxygen's on fire, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I'm more concerned with never dying. If we get hit again, there we go. Now our shield should be back up. We should be safe. We are going to 1-2 punch them again. Our oxygen has burned out, but that's okay. 1-2 punch, go! And they no longer have a shield, and they're now dead. Fantastic. We might not even need the smart bomb anymore. This heavy laser does a huge amount of damage. 1 missile, 1 drone part, 18 scrap. We might actually have to swap the smart bomb away, which is kind of disappointing, because it's kind of the whole cool thing about the ship. It's got a fancy hull-only bomb, but given the opportunity to have 4 lasers instead of 1 laser, that's probably going to be a big deal in the upcoming sectors. We probably should try and take advantage of that. And that's hilarious. That asteroid just smashed that drone that was attacking us. That's great. Alright, we're going to get our people healed up here. Gumbo took some damage, Fox took some damage. They've all actually been hurt, which is not good. We can turn off the heavy laser for now and power up the healing. See, now, if I had a 4-space weapon bay, I'd be able to use them all, but of course, I don't want you to be doing that. The thing is, having that smart bomb and other stuff is just a little bit too powerful, I think, so I may just not have access to all of them simultaneously. Get our crew back into that med bay to heal them up as well. And Fox back to the helm, Gumpo back to shields. Looking good. Alright. Could have been worse. Could definitely have been worse. We have enough power to buy ourselves an additional layer of power to run the weapons soon. Let's check out what's going on here at this exit beacon. We have 2 fuel left. This could be bad. What do we find here at the long-range beacon? We find a pirate in hot pursuit of an unidentified ship. We quickly receive a transmission asking us to stay out of it. They have Lido missiles and a this thing. ion weapon. But they're offering us 3 fuel and 14 scrap as part of the bribe. Normally I would never accept a bribe from these guys, but this is a circumstance where I think I might, because I don't want to get hit by that Lido missile at the moment. We don't have the engine power really to run it all. The scrap would probably let us get... Oh, it's 25 for I think our next power bar anyway, so that's not going to help. But the fuel is important, so we're going to actually accept this bribe for once. What a sad day this is. 3 fuel, drum part, and 14 scrap. 15 scrap because of our scrap recovery arm, but ooh, it's a sad day. 25, that'll give us an extra power bar. Now, if we really want to, the next thing we can try and get is another weapon control bar, because that'll let us have the 2 lasers and the heavy laser working at the same time. At the moment, it's beneficial to us to have this setup, because having the lasers and the smart bomb is potentially better, if we can't get through their shields easily. But, as it stands, this is probably a decent setup. So, I guess it's on to the next sector. Where are we going? Power-controlled sector, on to Sector 3. We're doing pretty good so far. Oh, not good options, though. Not good options. Mantis-controlled sector or the Mantis homeworlds. We really should go to the Mantis homeworlds, because that gives you the potential for the ship quest, and generally better stuff. But it's going to involve a lot of boarding, most likely, and we're not really set up to deal with boarding. So that'll be fun. But here we go. Mantis homeworlds, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Alright, here we are. We've entered a poorly charted area of space known to be home to the Mantis. Hopefully we don't get horribly destroyed. But to find out if we do get horribly destroyed, you'll have to come back next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been VanguardOfValor playing through some FTL for you in the Arwing mod, which I, in fact, created. Haha! You can get links for it in the description below. It is very hard intentionally. But hopefully you can enjoy it a little bit. And, once again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.